Hello, is it my stream you're looking for? Me. Hello, and welcome to FoodCraft with Goosey Games. Today we are making muffins. Now, you guys are familiar with muffins. You know what they're like, but how many of you have actually made a homemade from-scratch muffin? I gotta tell you, if you're learning to bake, this is one of the easiest things to learn to bake. So I'm going to show you how. So here we go. We're going to make two different kinds of muffins today. One of them will be a whole wheat muffin, and the other will be a sweeter muffin, which of course can be all different kinds of flavors, and I'm going to try for a banana nut, which will be an experiment, but my experiments usually turn out okay. So we have all the ingredients here. We have flour, and we have shortening, and we have sugar, and we have some eggs, and some milk. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do, which I actually remembered to do on time this time, is preheat your oven. You're going to preheat it to 400 degrees. Yes, and then you're going to want to grease your muffin cups so that the muffins come out clean. So we're going to set this bowl aside. I think we'll do the whole wheat muffins in this tin, and we'll do the banana nut in these ones in a little bit. Now, you can use the paper, like the cupcake liners, but I find, in my experience, those end up sticking to the muffin, and like half the muffin sticks to the paper, which is really just no good, as you guys know. You can grease your tins with anything. You can use a cooking spray. I don't prefer cooking spray myself because it kind of tends to stick to the top and like leave a residue, and I don't like that. You can use shortening. You can also use coconut oil. I like to use coconut oil when I'm greasing for my muffins. You can also substitute coconut oil for the shortening in the recipe. Just so you know, if you want some of whatever. If you're concerned about vegetable oil, that's the thing. So we're just going to put some on the paper towel, like so, clean paper towel, and just rub it all on the inside of these muffin cups, because you don't want your muffins sticking to the pan. Okay, so those are all greased, and they are ready to go. So we'll put that right up there and bring our bowl back. Okay, so we're going to sift together into the mixing bowl. We're going to start with 1 cup of all-purpose unbleached flour, just regular flour. Now, these whole wheat muffins are really good because they're nice and muffiny, but they're not overly sweet, and so you can use them like in place of dinner rolls if you want, and you can just whip these up. They don't take very long to make, about half an hour from start to finish if you don't take all the time to to live stream it. And then, so we had 1 cup of regular flour, and now we're going to put in 1 cup of whole wheat flour. I like to use, this is a 100% stone ground whole wheat pastry flour. It's a little finer ground than something maybe you'd use for bread, and so this is like really good for, see, it says muffins right there, so we're going to use it for muffins. We are also going to add to the flour a 1/4 cup of sugar. Whoops, as I, don't mind me, I'm just throwing my kitchen utensils, no big. The sweeter muffin recipe calls for 1/2 cup of sugar, so this is just gonna, it's not gonna make it very sweet, but it'll be a little sweeter than, say, like a loaf of bread. So we put in our sugar. We're gonna put in 3 teaspoons of baking powder. This is what's going to leaven the bread. Muffins don't need yeast or anything. 1, 2, 3. Adjusting the camera, make sure I didn't have anything out of. I should scooch this closer so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, we put in our baking powder. We're also going to add half a teaspoon of salt. Like so. And we're going to sift that all together right into the bowl. Now, if you don't have a sifter, you can use a sieve, like a fine mesh sieve, and just kind of shake it through that, or use a whisk to press it through. Or, you know, just get one of these. They're really inexpensive, and if you're looking to get into baking, you're going to use this for so many recipes. So, I don't know. Sifter. So we have all our dry ingredients in there. Now we're going to add the wet ingredients. We're going to add a 1/4 cup of shortening. Now, if you guys see this, this is the best measuring cup in the world. I love these measuring cups. You can. This is not a paid product placement, but it comes from Pampered Chef, and I haven't seen them anywhere else. You turn it this way, and you can measure liquids and pour it out, so it's a liquid measure. And this way is a dry measure, which is really cool because you can not only do like I could have measured the sugar with this, but I'm going to show you. This will save your life if you use it for shortening. All right. So we're going to need a 1/4 cup of shortening. So we're going to push it right up there so it measures with the 1/4 cup measure. We're going to pack our shortening right in there. Now this is soft shortening. If your kitchen is kind of cold, you're going to want to have this set out at room temperature, or maybe put it next to the oven that while it's warming up for a little bit, just so it's nice and soft. Because the thing about muffins is you do not want to overmix the batter. It's going to be lumpy, it's going to look weird, you're going to think it's not done, but that's how it's supposed to be. So you want the shortening nice and soft so you don't have to work so hard to mix it in. So we're just going to pack it in there so we get an accurate measure. And then we're going to just even it off at the top. Now here's the magic part. If you're using a regular measuring cup like this, you'll have to get in there with your knife or a spoon and dig it all out. With this, watch this. This is magic. We'll just push on the end and boop. And all you got to do is just scrape it off. Ta-da! Nothing left over. Best measuring cup. Pampered Chef. I'll put a link in the YouTube description so you can go get your own, because I know you all want one. Okay, so that was the shortening. Now we're also going to add 1 egg. I'll pop that right in there. Boop. Or more accurately, bloop. Wipe the egg off my fingers. And the last thing we're going to add for the whole wheat muffins is 1 cup of milk. So we'll get our measuring cup. These measuring cups also are by Pampered Chef. You can look down to see the measurements, which is, you don't have to stand sideways, eye level with the counter to get an accurate measure. You can just see it from the top. So they're kind of fantastic. I like them a lot. So we're going to add in the milk. Now all we're going to do, we're not going to mix this very much. We're going to use a pastry blender, or you can use a fork. And And we're going to cut through the shortening about 8 times and just kind of cut it up. And then we're just going to stir like this until it's just blended. You see how it's starting to come apart from the sides of the bowl and stick together? We're almost done. I can still see some lumps of egg yolk. We want that all mixed in. And there, seriously, that's all you do. Look how it's so lumpy. You'll think, oh, that's not ready to put in there. It is. This is ready. Didn't even take me that long, right? So, we'll get a spoon here. Scrape the excess off our pastry blender. Get off. It's going to be very sticky. That's what you want. This is the right consistency. It's going to be kind of like really lumpy paste or glue. That's what we're going to consider done. And now, we're just going to put it into our muffin cups here. Hey, Talking Dog joined us. Hey, Talking Dog. Ceci, what's cool? She said, oh, that's cool. And we're just going to fill these up about 1/3 of the way. You don't want to overfill them. These are not like store-bought muffins. You're not going to get that pretty muffin shape necessarily, the muffin top, which, you know, well, if you eat a lot of muffins, you're going to get you're going to get your own muffin top, but that's okay. That's the joy of muffins. Oh, the measuring cup. Yeah, I love the measuring cup. The measuring cup is indeed cool. Do you guys ever watch any Jim Gaffigan, stand-up comedian? He does, well, about half his show. The one I'm talking about is, I think it's called Beyond the Pale. And he has, I'll put a link to that in the description too, because you guys got to see it. It's hilarious. But he has this whole thing about cakes. He talks about cake a lot. Lots of cake jokes. And then he says, you know, a muffin is a bald cupcake. Well, yeah, if you buy one from the store, like store-bought muffins are usually, you know, wrapped in plastic, or those giant Costco muffins. Have you guys ever had those giant Costco muffins? They're about this big, and, well, they're delicious, but they're cake. They're not muffins. They're muffin-shaped cake. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. They have the consistency of cake. Depending on the quality of store-bought muffin you get, they can be kind of damp and mushy, and I don't know, I just don't really like them. You guys got a homemade muffin has this warm, almost crunchy flavor, especially right out of the oven. It's kind of fantastic. And they're going to be irregular in shape. That's okay. But yeah, so he says a muffin is a bald cupcake. And then he says mini muffins. How much denial are we in there? They're like muffin vitamins. I'll just have 1 or 12. Anyway, it's a great bit. I'll link it in the description. Somebody keep a list for me of all the links I'm going to put in the description, huh? Alright, there we go. We have a dozen whole wheat muffins ready to go. We'll put those in the oven in a bit. You know, I was going to do this one at a time, but let's mix up the banana nut muffins while we're at it. And we'll just put, no, wait. I can't do that. I forgot I only have 1 rack in my oven, so there's not room. So let's put in the whole wheat muffins, and then we'll mix up the banana nut muffins. Let's put these in the oven. They're going to bake 20-25 minutes, so we're going to set the timer for 20 minutes. Like so. Yeah, that'll be fine. So now we're going to get ready for the banana nut muffins. We're going to do again, we got to grease the muffin pans. I could have made mini muffins. I have a mini muffin pan. But that affects the baking time, of course. If you're going to make mini muffins, you're going to start wanting to check them at maybe 10 minutes because they're smaller and they'll cook a lot faster. Alright, those are greased. Ready to go. We just used the bowl. We're going to go ahead and just use the same bowl for the banana nut muffin recipe. It's not going to affect it that much. Okay, so here we go. For the sweeter muffins, we're going to start with 1.5 cups of flour. 1.5 cups. We're going to add 1/2 cup of sugar. ¼ cup plus 1/4 cup equals 1/2 cup. Yeah, baking, you need to know your fractions for baking. Sorry, I bumped the mic. We're going to put in 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Again, 1/2 teaspoon of salt. We're going to sift that all together into the bowl. Like so. Now, just like the other one, we're going to add 1/4 cup of shortening. I've been having a lot of fun growing this channel. There's been some pretty steady growth. I'm now up to 56 followers on Twitter. Thank you everybody who's following me there. You guys are fantastic. Make me feel very good about myself. I have 57 likes on my Facebook page, and I think 26 subscribers on YouTube, which, believe me, I know that's not a lot, but it's more than I had a couple of months ago. So, not complaining. Boop. And it's almost like a game, really. Like every time I get a new follower or a subscriber, I always feel like achievement unlocked. You know, I throw a little party for myself. It's like playing a game. You know, it's like it's like Sims YouTube. YouTube Tycoon. How many people can I get to follow me? How awesome do I have to be to make everybody pay attention to me on the internet? So, I don't know. It's fun. Okay, so we got the shortening. I'm trying to clean up a little bit as I go, because if I don't, we're just going to get lumps of muffin batter all over the place. 1 egg. Like so. All the paper towels in the world. One cup of milk. Now if you want, I just realized, too late to change. If you want, you can substitute 1/4 cup of the white sugar for 1/4 cup of brown sugar in this recipe. Brown sugar with the bananas would just taste really good. fact, I think that's what I put in the Facebook post where I posted the ingredients list for the recipe. But, oh well, I forgot. You can also put a little cinnamon if you want. We're going to mash up a banana. We want about a cup of mashed banana. Have you guys ever seen Noises Off? Don't want 4 plates of mashed banana. That's a great show. It's got a... It's a stage play, but the movie version has Carol Burnett and Michael Caine and the guy who's on Perfect Strangers, John Ritter, whole bunch of Christopher Reeve. Fantastic cast, and it's one of the funniest movies ever made. Is that going to be about a cup of banana, you think? Maybe I need to put the other banana in there. Maybe half a banana. Trying to eyeball it. Like, would that fit? Mash that up. Yeah, maybe another half banana. Anyway, go watch Noises Off. You'll laugh to yourself every time somebody mentions sardines. Go fix me another plate of sardines to celebrate. Alright, we're just going to mash up this banana with the fork before we put it in, just so because it's a little stiffer than the shortening and such, and so if your banana's really unripe, like if you like them not so sweet, you can cut them up in little chunks if you'd like instead of mashing, but it's a matter of personal taste. So you can try that. Here we go, about a cup of mashed banana. Always take a banana to a party. Bananas are good. I'm gonna dump that in the bowl. And now we're also going to add nuts. I left my cutting board over here. There we go. And we're going to chop up some nuts to put in these muffins. We're going to add the nuts last. We're just going to kind of stir them in. So let's go ahead and give this a stir with the pastry blender. Cut up the shortening, cut up the yolk, and stir it all together. It's looking really good. It's a little more liquidy because we added the banana, but that's okay. So there we go, nice and lumpy. I'm going to chop up some nuts and add it. Ceci hates nuts in bakery goods. Really? What, is it a texture thing? And Iwapg says, suggest muffins with mini muffins inside. I don't even know if that's possible. Oh gosh, I'm dumb. Do you see what this package says? Chopped walnuts. I don't even got to use my knife. These are already chopped. So we're just going to put a couple of handfuls, maybe about half a cup of nuts right into the batter. Yeah, I can read. Derp, derp, derp. Okay, so nuts right in there. Just going to stir it up like that. Then we're going to fill our muffin cups. Okay, Ceci says the reason she doesn't like nuts in baked goods is texture and taste. Everything's all nice and soft and sweet and gooey and wonderful, and then crunch, bitter sadness. Well, you have obviously had bad experiences with nuts in baked goods. I'm sorry for that. Well, you can have the whole wheat muffins. Now, like this sweeter muffin recipe, if you don't want to do banana nut, you can do just plain banana, or you could do blueberry instead of the bananas. Add a cup of fresh blueberries. You can do apple cinnamon. You can add a cup of grated apple and about half a teaspoon of cinnamon with the dry ingredients. You can... one time I made apricot muffins. I stewed up some apricots with sugar and incorporated that into the batter, and they came out very orange and apricot-y. That was nice. I think I flavored it with cinnamon and cardamom. It's a pretty good combination. But, I mean, the main thing I wanted to show you guys was how easy it is to mix these up. You don't even got to be particular. You don't got to mix it till it's smooth or whatever. Big chunk of banana in that one. And remember, don't fill them too full. These are a little more liquidy, like I said, because of the banana. You can do an orange honey muffin. That would be interesting. You could try, I haven't tried this before, I'm just making the stuff up as I go. Substitute half of the milk, or maybe even all the milk, with orange juice, and add some orange zest, and flavor it with honey instead of sugar. That could be interesting. It might affect the texture, though, so be careful. There we go. Those ones are ready to go in. There's the timer. Turn the timer off. Get our oven mitts so that we don't burn ourselves. Ooh, swarm. Ta-da! Look how beautiful are the muffins. And we are going to dump those. We're going to let them cool for a sec, I guess. And then we're going to dump them right out. In the meantime, let's put the banana nut muffins in there. Push that in, set the timer again for 20 minutes. The banana nut muffins are a little moister, so those might take a little longer, but we'll check them at 20 minutes. Oops. I was about to grab this pan again without the oven mitts on. That would have been a bad thing. Here we go. Oops. Come on out. Eee. There's one. Apparently, I did not grease well enough. You see this? Dang it. Maybe if we loosen them around the edges with a knife, like so, they'll come out a little bit better. I probably should have done that to start with. I was over-eager in my haste for muffin goodness. See how lovely and crumbly these are? There we go, let's try that again. Oh, some of them are still stuck. Come out, muffins! Boop, that one came out pretty clean. Okay, so this is your lesson. Grease well, otherwise you get all the muffin bottoms stuck. It's okay. Hot muffin pan over there. Look how beautiful. We need butter. Where's the butter? We're gonna eat us a muffin right now. Little plate. This is the prettiest muffin, I think. Look how gorgeous that is. Gorgeous, gorgeous brown muffin right there. We're going to cut that in half while it's still warm. Ooh, so crumbly. If if you let them cool, they won't be quite so crumbly when you eat them. We're going to put butter right on it, just like that. Probably a little too much butter. No such thing as too much butter, right? Yeah. Buttery muffin. You guys will just, unless you've been baking with me, you're just going to have to imagine how good this tastes. Beautiful. How beautiful are the muffins should be a poem. It should. How beautiful are the muffins. As warm as beachy sand. Crumbling, buttery goodness in my hand. That was terrible. Okay, we've baked our muffin. I'm talking with my mouth full. You guys don't mind. We've eaten our muffin. Now, while the banana nut muffins are baking... Are you laughing at my poem? He's laughing at my poem. Let's put these things aside. Turn this thingy around, and we'll play a little Minecraft while it's baking. Alright, let's lay out this towel for those muffins. See, these are the muffins I already made. Aren't they beautiful? For those of you recently joining. And let's eat more muffins. Oh, those look perfect. Okay, let's cancel oven mitts. Yep, I already baked the whole wheat muffins. They turned out fantastic. These ones are banana nut. And look at the gloriousness. Golden brown banana nut deliciousness. We'll loosen the muffins in the pan with the knife. Like so. And hope they come out in one piece because they look beautiful. Oh no, they're not coming out. Okay folks, that's a hard lesson, is learning to grease your muffin cups properly. There we go. Oh, alright, we'll just gently ease them out. We don't want them to crumble all to pieces like the wheat ones did. Now you see these muffins, you can already see the difference in the texture. Whoops! Hot muffin. These ones are a lot smoother looking as opposed to these muffins because of the difference in these have more flour and less sugar. And so these are more desserty type muffins or breakfasty muffins. Get them all out of the pan, and then we will put one on a plate and butter it up, and you can be jealous that I get to eat it and you don't. I'm so mean. Let's just... Bit of muffin left. Got a butter dish. Beautiful. Look at that beautiful muffin. That'll be our screenshot. Get it in focus. Right there for the YouTube video. Cut this in half. Hot muffin. Gorgeous that is inside. But ooh, hot knife. Butter sliding right off. Butter that up. Blow on it. I don't want to burn my tongue. Okay. Okay, yeah, I've got to try this recipe again, except they're fantastic as is, but I really want to see how they turn out if I use half brown sugar, half white sugar. I think that'll be really good with banana nut. So, that is how you make muffins. Oh, the other thing I wanted to tell you guys, I don't know if I can demonstrate it, but I wanted to talk about what to do with leftover muffins. Now, muffins are best when they come right out of the oven. They're a little bit crunchy on the outside. They're warm and soft on the inside, melting the butter at just exactly the correct rate. But what do you do with a leftover muffin? As you know, they cool off eventually, and it's sad. These ones are starting to already be cool. And they're best when they're warm. And you can eat them cool. They're not as good, but it works. You can put them in the microwave, but in my opinion, that gets them too hot, and they kind of get kind of mushy. And you put the butter on, and it just makes them soggy. And so how do you eat a leftover muffin so that it's perfect the next time you eat it? Well, I will tell you. After I eat a bite of muffin. Sorry, they're really good. What you're going to want to do is you take your leftover muffin, you cut it in half, very carefully. You're going to want to put a frying pan on the stove, about medium heat. Don't put butter or anything in it. You want a dry pan. And you're going to put the muffins in the pan, cut side down. Keep them there for a few minutes. Keep an eye on them. You're going to toast the muffins in the dry pan. You can't put them in a toaster. They'll crumble, fall to pieces. It won't work. If you have a toaster oven, that's a good option also. But if you don't have a toaster oven, dry pan on the stove. Toast them. They'll come up crispy and just taste like they're fresh baked again, and they'll be amazing. So that's how you will eat. That's how I'll be eating all these leftover muffins. I should find somebody to share all these muffins with. There's a lot of muffins. Anyway, thank you for watching. It's been a fantastic stream. I appreciate your support. You can go to my Facebook page, Facebook/GooseyGames, or my YouTube channel, YouTube/GooseyGames, or on Twitter, I'm @GooseyGen. So you can follow me anywhere. I'll be posting this video later. I've got other gaming videos up all the time. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Get my bye-bye splash screen up. There you go. Yay! See you next time on Goosey Games.